Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Before we start, quick disclaimer, anything we discuss is just for educational purpose, nothing is financial advice. Alright guys, a little late video today, but did want to get the recap out because it was a lot of learn today. It was a beautiful day because we focused on our repeatable setup, our strategies like psych numbers, day twos, Pscyh, QQQ trades. So a lot to learn today from our recap from the community trades. I also tweeted out a few things in the morning. Also our PLTR after hours session as well. That was a beautiful trade as well. Anyways, before we start, let's do a quick introduction to anybody who's new to our X accounts, new to my YouTube, or new to our community. So guys, we trade a repeatable system called Ripster EMA Cloud system. The system is not just the indicators, but it also includes my teachings, my psychological teachings, my teachings about day trade, swing trade, investments, the price action, that I've been teaching from 8-9 years on X. I've been teaching on YouTube. I've been teaching on Ripster Education, my free website. So this system is used by thousands of traders across the world to trade consistently. You can go to ripstereducation.com and see how the impact of this education has had on thousands of lives. Anyways, we traded live in Tana Trade Group, one of the largest online educational live trading community, where we trade. Thousands of traders are on our trading floor trading these setups. We make a plan in the pre-market. Everything is a plan, everything is a repeatable setup. System is how you trade, setup is what you trade. So you see in front, we make it live. I'm on live screen. I'm creating this plan in the pre-market, me and my team. We take what are the news plays, what are the earning plays, and what are any mag 7s, upgrades, downgrades. So you can see that. I'll go through this plan, I'll show you the plan and then how we traded those setups. I focus on certain setups. If something triggers, I focus on it, and I also guide my traders how to trade those setups live. So we're going to take a look at that. In addition to that, we trade many other setups. We have a day 2, day 3 strategy. So today our day 2 strategy was pretty solid. We'll talk about a few names here. What is a day 2 strategy? We'll discuss it. We also share the levels of Spy, QQQ Mag 7. Everything can be traded with the Ripster EMA Cloud system. We provide these to traders so that they can trade on their own. We also trade futures. Futures levels are also provided in the pre-market to the traders for the futures like ES, Nasdaq, gold, silver. We can trade those as well using the Ripster EMA Cloud system. We do trade low floors. We do trade IPOs. We have different channels to trade all those. We have a lot of tools in the community. We have three option flow scanners, stock scanners, breaking news alerts, order flow scanner, MOC scanner, a lot of tools. We have tools worth $500-$600 which are free for every trader to utilize in the community. If you join the community, you get it free. So that's a $500-$600 a month, which is free. So anyways, that being said, I'm usually live first few hours of the market open because that's when you make the real trades. You hit your daily targets and you're done for the day. So I'm live and guiding the traders. So we will go through the trade setups today, the top setups today. I'll show you the pre-market planning, the live guidance, and so that you can also learn these setups and you can be an independent trader. Keep learning from YouTube, keep learning from my free resources, and keep growing. Like, you send me a lot of DMs, and of course if you ever want to join the community, feel free to join there as well. Let's start. Alright guys, let's start with the first setup. So we're going to talk about the memory names today. So as you know, we traded the memory names on Friday. You can watch the recap. They were bearish, right? So this morning, high watch, SNDK was already a earning day. Remember what happens when you're doing the earnings. Some days the move on the earnings will not be on the day 1, but the move on the earnings will be on a day 2 or day 3. Anyways, it's a hard theme, right? So SNDK, top watch, we had it on a news plan, game plan as well. I did mention it so that my team is ready, my traders are ready. I said watch the day 2 memory names. Now what was the plan? There was a detailed plan that was posted on a day 2 sheet. SNDK long over 599, 600 psychological level. So we had that STX 400 psychological level. So we mentioned those setup as well. We did have Western Digital and Micron. We'll talk about those as well, but let's focus on first those two plays. So now in the pre-market, So in the pre-market, I had told the traders to watch the memory names. If we break out of 600 on SNDK, we may push towards 640. Under 600, we'll not be interested. Similarly, we were talking about STX 400, right? So that was before the market open, 3 minute and 2 minute before the market open. So you know we were ready, right? So we were ready for those trades as well to market order them right at the open. So now let's see what happened to the SNDK as soon as SN market opened. I told the traders long versus 600. Right away you long it. As it pushes, your stops are right at 584s. You know, it pushes 600. You know, you're risking $10, but you're trying to make $60. 1 risk to 10 reward. Your stop cannot be small on these names. So from there on, SNDK, we pushed to a 625 pretty fast. We pulled back right here to the clouds. We were flagging. Then we started to flag break. I gave the target of 650, and we hit the 650 soon. Then moving forward, we had the high of the day from yesterday. This was our target. So that's what a target I gave. And then we had another flag right at 11:30. This was another flag. I told the traders stops at 644, flag breakout 670, 676 next target. So we did hit those. We actually stopped out of the day trades, but a lot of traders are swinging because 3450 is holding. Now if we broke out of here tomorrow, we are going to 700. That's what I told the traders. But you see, this was a home run trade on SNDK. Even if you were trading options, even if you had 10 shares, right, 50 shares, doesn't really matter. Let's say you have 10 shares, right? What is your risk? If you're risking on 10 shares is $100, but you are making $500-600 on on 100 shares. Your 100 shares, you're risking $1,000 and you're making $4,000. So that's the kind of trade you want to do. You don't, traders think that you need a big account to trade these setups. That's not true. You can trade with very small sizes and really do good in the trading. So that's how you do it. So anyways, let's take a look here next. Let's take a look at other one here. Let's take a look. So we are going to look at the options here as well. Let's take a look at 700 calls in the morning. These are lottos. So they were trading at $3, right? You risk 100% there, $3, $300. They went as long as a $22. So these were lottos because 700 is far away. So you could buy them for $3, but if we get there, those $300 would be turning into $2,000. So that's how you trade. That's your risk reward. That's how you do that. That's how you these opportunities. And remember, 600 psychological level, big trade, 600 psychological level. So similar setup was STX. Of course, SNDK was much better setup because SNDK was also pushing over 1 hour MTF cloud. But STX was not a bad setup as well. So let's look at STX here. So STX was right away 400 longs, right? Again, the same planning on the STX. The planning was 400 psychological setup. So you're ready, you're ready in the pre-market, and we long STX over 400. On STX pulls back, bounce over 1 hour Ripster clouds, MTF clouds, pulls, holds, runs to 436. So from the 400 longs, even if you're taking it long at 408, you're risking $800. It ran all the way to 430. You're making $22, like 1 risk to 3 reward trade. So the target I gave was 434.50, and we did hit that. I took this target from yesterday's price level. We did hit my 434.50, and then it finally broke our clouds. We were out of it at 432s. So you long at 407, 408s, you get out of 432s with Ripster cloud setup. Pretty clean setup on Ripster cloud. This is where it broke. Push, hold, MTF clouds, beautiful trade. 1 risk to 3-4 reward. That's a beauty. So the other memory names were doing pretty good as well. Micron. So Micron was a long as well all day. Western Digital, those was also long. Similar setups. You could just long like 3450s. Push over 1 hour MTF clouds. So the key thing to note in all these setups, okay, let me go back to the Micron. Here was the plan on Micron, long over 1 hour MTF breakout, and there was a plan on to works in this Western Digital to long over 249, right? So let's take a look here. Micron also, there was a solid move there, so of course we were focused there. But the key here to understand is the whole the whole sector, the memory sector, right? We were shorted there on Friday and we were long. When the clouds were bearish, we stay short. When the cloud turned bullish, here's where cloud turned bullish, you know it's a long, right? Same for SNDK. Or any memory name you take it, right? We were short as long as the Ripster clouds were short. We are long when Ripster clouds are long. And also reclaimed 3450, it reclaimed 1 hour MTF, it became a long, right? So you need to watch all those things, that way you can trade both sides, right? And also there was a 4 psychological levels for SNDK and STX, so that's always great to learn. Make sure you remember this today's move. So let's look at Spy QQQ today. So Spy QQQ, I mean, if you watch my recaps, there was nothing new, nothing different. Although I was not a big fan of the initial B- move, but it became an B+ move pretty soon, A+ move pretty soon. So plan on Spy QQQ, ES futures, Nasdaq futures, and SPX was market only long if we hold yesterday lows and VIX breaks under 18. You long the market. Watch the Max 7 QQQ MTFs. So was semis for call, no go under that level. Spy, if holds 2021, we should push higher. So what happened at the open? At the open, VIX rejected 18 level, boom. So that was an amateur long. So it was long curl on Spy right here, long curl on QQQ. So I soon realized that this is going to hold up because VIX is weak. So that's when I gave the traders the target, MTF magnet on Spy. You see right here, MTF magnet, QQQ, MTF magnet. So we hit both those targets and Spy started to break out. Then I gave the Spy target yesterday highs. So SPX we hit there as well. Then came our 10 a.m. flags, 10 a.m. flag, 10 a.m. flag. Learn the 10 a.m. repeatable setup. So that's when I said 10 a.m. flag longs. Either you're taking some profits from the morning calls, which was a long as per the plan, or you can always add into your position. So even after I said 10 a.m. flag longs, Spy ran from 693 all the way to 696 until 97 almost, until we stopped out here. QQQ from 10 a.m. flag break ran 623 to 626. I did mention that Spy was relatively stronger than QQQ. Things to learn here is a VIX concept. VIX under 18, check. MTF clouds breaking out, check. Market holding trend, check. Market holding 10 a.m. clouds, check. So you just trade it, hold it, make money. Spy calls is even a Spy calls for tomorrow, even those went from like 70 cents all the way to $2.40. Easy couple 100% gains there. Even if you traded with $1,000, was easy $2,000 return on Spy QQQ. Either you are trading Nasdaq futures or you are trading SPX futures. You can always go to the levels that I give you. So this was the levels in the pre-market, resistance pivots on Nasdaq 25,600, 69.58 on Spy. So if you see that, once those levels break, you get long on those futures. You have Ripster clouds here, MTF clouds here, MTF magnet, and all the way beautiful move on Nasdaq futures as well. The same thing on ES futures. You take right here, take it all the way up, and that's a beautiful move. So you can of course do the same thing if you are trading SPX. With SPX options, the things are a little tricky. You need to watch out. Don't really need to add too big of a size, but like for this SPX 7,000 call, that went from $40 all the way to $10, right? Sometimes you will get those kind of moves, but you just need to be careful because ES futures are trading closer to the 7,000 level, and it was a big move. If you add those SPX options, you need to be just a little careful. You're risking 100%, but you're making 5, 6, 7, 800%. So that's really how you need to do that as well. Anyways, that was our thing on Spy QQQs. Let's go to the next one. All right, so the next one was there was 3 names. There was Apple, there was Google, and there was Amazon. So what something similar on all of those were, all of these were breaking out of the MTF clouds. MTF cloud 21 hour breakout, 1 hour breakout. MTF cloud on Google ran all day. Apple also a daily breakout. If you look at the daily chart, daily breakout as well. It has been downtrending for a long time, but today we had a bullish news on Apple, and from that Apple ran crazy. So let's take a look. So first thing I told the traders in the morning open that Google, Apple, super duper strong long names, Apple, Amazon, Google, super duper long strong names. So you need to identify what is strong. You need to see the volume, you need to see the options. You can tell what is strong. If the SPY is strong, Qs are strong, something in the Magnificent 7 is definitely strong. So that's why you have a plan in the pre-market, because Apple has a news. Tax victory in India. I told that call if it pushes over the MTF cloud. Google, good news on Waymo. I told the traders to trade versus 1 hour MTF cloud. Amazon had a buy rating by Jefferies. I told them to trade versus 2021 MTF cloud. You see, we had a plan for all of them, and all of them had kind of a catalyst. So they have a catalyst. That's why Apple, from that long, I gave the stops of 258.50. Apple ran all the way to 270, right? Google from the MTF longs. You can always go and check our levels here, and Google, Microsoft, AMD, you can see the levels as soon as those resistances break. My traders were already long. I told the traders move the stops higher on Apple, no reason to cut. Watch the high of the day breakout for next leg up, right? Google, Amazon, Apple holding the curls, no reason to cut. Apple even hit 140% ATR. It went on to trade to 191% ATR because the news was pretty big on Apple. You need to understand the news that we have in the pre-market. So that really helped Apple, Amazon, Google run all day. Beautiful trades for the community. All well planned there. All right, let's look at the next one. So next one we're going to look at is Tesla. So Tesla, was in the morning, was a short. It was an amateur short. If you take a look here, this is a 10-minute candle. I can go to a smaller time frame, but if you see here, the morning candle on Tesla was a short right at the open. Right away, I told the traders to short versus 422. Target I gave was 415. Next target I gave was 414. We hit 415 target. We hit almost 415 as well. Then we started to bounce. We said we will short it again if 420 rejects. 420 was also pre-market lows, big level on the daily chart. It was rejecting few times. We were shorting it, but then what happened? It curled, right? There was a first curl. So there was a first curl on Tesla. But again, that curl hit the resistance 34.50 and you stopped out break even. It failed under the 420 level again. But then I told the traders that you gotta watch the 30-minute chart now, because 10-minute is not a clear direction. So you see that this was a 30-minute curl. 30-minute curl breakout. I told the traders that we will push through that 425 breakout. We did push through the gap, but this 1 hour MTF was a little bit too much resistance for it, and then we stopped out of it later as well. But you see this was the move with the trend line and 30-minute breakout. 10-minute was a little tough to trade there on Tesla, but was definitely a good one there as well. All right, so let's look at, there's another trade just want to talk about, since I'm talking about psychological numbers. CVNA was another psychological long trade. You can see that breaking out 400. It has been beaten down. It was also a day 2 setup. That's why I added into day 2 setup, CVNA 400 psychological long setup. If you see here, short under 400, long over 400. And CVNA was a good setup. I just wanted to mention that another psychological long setup that was present in the community. So remember these easy concepts, right? Making money, you just have very easy concepts to use. All right, so let's look at what was PLTR. I will upload my PLTR live earning session separately, but just to summarize that, we were long PLTR over 150, right? So PLTR was a long over 150 because the earnings were good, the margin good, the guidance insane. I covered it in detail in that, so you could take that and you to take that video and you can watch it. So anyways, PLTR was a long for us. We took the long at 153. A lot of traders hold at 161. Some of them are swinging it. Swing traders just need to hold versus 150. Let's see what it does tomorrow, but nothing wrong with the stock. The valuation is pretty high, but the stock is also insanely growth. No other stock is doing what PLTR is doing. So so that was that. Let's see what else was there today. We had something on, Bitcoin was kind of bouncing but didn't do much for us today in the community. We were just focused on those other names. It did kind of let's take a look here on Bitcoin in the morning. Let's see here. So let's see here, one second. I just want to show here. Let's just look at IBIT, the ETF we trade. So IBIT did bounce. I told the traders to long IBIT versus 444. You see it pushed to 444, held 444, bounced to 445. So nothing special, and then it broke down again. So Bitcoin was, we tried to call it, but it went into the consolidation. So there was not much we could do there. And same thing was happening with silver and gold today. Insane opportunities last few days, but today it was just a short setup from the cloud. That's about it. You see in the morning rejections, silver they were trying to call, but then it failed, and it was just a 512 short, 10 short from here to here, and short from here to here. That was about it. And now it's holding a base because holding a Ripster 3450 cloud, so it will be very interesting to watch this. So definitely worth watching is on that on gold and silver.